Booyah, people! This is me. The Mythworks with a 7, because I was too illiterate to add an S on the end. Well, I'm not an artist, I'm not a creative person. Well, maybe I am a creative person. I think everybody can be a creative person. But don't emphasize on that too much. There is a reason why you shouldn't. You see, being a creative, I think it's kind of overestimated, because we are all creative. When the push comes to shove, trust me, every single one of us is as creative as Michelangelo himself, or Raphael, or Leonardo, or a third one, Raphael, yeah. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, my friend. Those are creative people, aren't they? Yeah, but they're not artists, they're ninjas, and yet they are creative. So I'm not an artist, so how do I go about painting? Or process of creation in general? I do what the Blender guru once said: block it out first. And then someone else says that the same thing. And then I saw Bob Ross painting, and all those workflows are just so general. I use them in the factory work, what I did with the fibroplastic stuff. Start big and then get the details in later. So as you can see, I started a little bit awkward in this one. First I slapped a bush on a ground, which kind of looks like a ground, I suppose. Right on the bottom, that green thing. Most of this is blue, though. That ground is probably also blue, but it's green. Anyway, slap some form and some color. Be as random as you can get. The more randomness, the better. Don't try to come up with something new and exciting, and don't. At first, master 3 things. Well, get used to using 3 things: light, shadow, and form. Form is at the least important, because you're not really trying to make things what's in your head. You're just trying to make things, right? So if you're trying to make things, making them is your priority. So, random stuff will be born. Like this painting. It's of random shapes, I painted that church-like thing because I wanted a castle. Well, I am at the stage where I can want a castle, because I am kind of there where I can decide that I want this object and then just keep slapping color on until it's born. In this particular case of this painting, I went about it from a wrong perspective. Well, something went wrong, and I just got stuck on a detailing thing that wasn't properly placed in the first place or second place. So I started anew. I kept one and only thing that I liked, which is a piece of ground. It's too much detail for the beginning, but hey, who cares? But as you can see, just slapping, making it darker and darker, and then you see how random the surface is, because this brush just makes it partially random. I saw clouds, right? Because my brain pattern recognition just turned on, and I was like, those must be clouds from above. Well, who knows, right? Just 2D view. Literally 2D view, looking from a top. I've never seen clouds from a top. Well, actually, I saw like a couple of times, but it was brief. And back then I wasn't really trying to, how should I put it, study how they look like from a top. So, just imagining how that's supposed to be, and Now that I look at it, it didn't work out very well, but oh well. There is shadow, there is light, there is form. That's all there is to it. That's all there is to painting, from my perspective, because I enjoy painting as an activity, as a hobby, as a study of world. Not really. I don't like reality. I like fantasy. And if you like fantasy like me, means you're kind of bored of, not really bored, you're sick and tired of this reality, of this real world, you know? We don't have those mountains that protrude through the sky in like 90 degrees angle. We don't really have that kind of places. So they do form sometimes though, yeah. But we don't have them in reality. You can't see them in reality. So how can we create such places, right? Well, that's easy. Slap a color on in a whatever form, shape, or manner, right? Then add the light source. Literally just highlight it somehow, somewhere. And then when your brain pattern recognition triggers and you yourself recognize the object, try to add some more detail. Slowly but surely add some more detail. Some more light, some more shadow, maybe cracks, and all that kind of nooks and crannies. And with time, you're gonna get better and better at it and faster at it. And you'll start truly enjoying the process, creating these fantasy nonsense things like castle. Well, it looks like a Disney's castle because it has that in the center of the painting, first of all. Then it is very tall with towers. And here you go. And it's triangular, by the way. Disney's castle, I think, is also triangular. Because most castles are depicted as triangular. I don't know why. It just is, I suppose. Anyway, at first I wanted to paint something in a distance, and it turned out a castle. I didn't expect that. That was not what I was shooting for, but it turned out pretty great. Then I slapped some color on, slapped some highlights, made some shadows, made some light, and it just good. I thought, it's alright, it's a castle, Disney's evilized castle. Somewhat. There's a form, there is a light, there is a shadow. Well, that's that, I suppose. Now, how to make it believable, right? Well, making it believable is just making more light and more shadows, more detail in general. Repainting the sky brown sometimes helps. Think of the pollution, right? If the sky is that brown, there must be China somewhere close, right? In that fantasy world. Oh, that's where I saw those clouds, not the clouds, the mountains. Yes. Chinese, the Dragon Ball Z. Yes, they draw that kind of mountains. They have them in China, so I suppose, or Japan, or in Asia. Old mountains. Probably, yes. So, this evilized Disney castle, Dragon Ball Z mountains, and a sea of clouds. And that was none of it was my intention. I just slapped stuff on because during my lifetime I've seen billions of shapes, like everybody else, on the internet, in the anime, in the mangas, in movies like Matrix, for Christ's sake, right? They have cities that doesn't exist. Everybody has cities, like Inception has cities that doesn't exist. It's good, it's pretty, it's beautiful, and you've seen it. Now you can kind of make a unique take on it by randomly slapping on colors. Slap a color, make a highlight, make a shadow automatically, because, you know, when you put the light on the object, the shadow kind of is born beforehand, before you even know. It's alright. And oh, by the way, this is my first attempt at painting a character, so I decided I'll paint myself from the back because my face is a bit more complicated than my back, I suppose. Well, but I also started with general silhouette of the Dewey who's going to stand there. And, you know, and it's actually just stayed as a silhouette. It did not become anything more than just a silhouette. Because if a painting is of a landscape, then there's very little point in putting in a lot of details in little tiny human who's just gonna be standing there. Or maybe it's a devil or demon or whatever. Just make a silhouette, make it believable somewhat, tiny little bit of light, tiny little bit of shadow, and that's it. That's truly it. There's not much else is there. So I kind of use science instead of artsy stuff. Anyways, if you like me or my work or my channel, subscribe. Good luck, good night, have fun, and have a good life, because whoever else says that, right? Bye.